Okay, so you've got the material for your podcast, you have figured out what type of podcast you are, and now you need to record your podcast. But how are you going to do that? You have your microphone, you're a pro now, but what are you going to record it on? Well, there are so many different platforms out there, and there are so many easy ones that are dedicated just for podcasting. One of the ones we're going to go over today is Zencaster. It is a very popular platform, and it makes it really easy for you to be a podcasting professional. Hey, it's Jennifer Lee, and welcome back to my channel. I've been a broadcaster for over 10 years. In the last year, I have gotten into podcasting, and I want to be able to help you make your podcast as an individual or as a business. Feel free to check out my website, podcastconsulting.ca. Currently, I'm working with the Home Builders Association of Vancouver on their podcast, Measure Twice, Cut Once. I'm the co-host, and I help edit their podcast for them. I'm also the host of my own podcast, Coping 19. Again, you can check it all out on my website, but let's get down to the topic, shall we? Okay, so many different types of recording platforms out there. When I started broadcasting school many years ago, I'm not going to give you a date, we didn't have too many. We learned how to record on Adobe Audition, but now there are specific podcasting platforms that help you record. And it's so nice. When I started my podcast, Coping 19, during the pandemic, I used Zoom because Zoom worked. The only problem with Zoom is the fact that there's a lot of audio glitches, which means when I was recording, I would hear a lot of squeaks in the audio that were generated by the computer. It wasn't that I was in a noisy room. And they were really hard to edit out, and I missed a lot of good information from people. So then one of my friends turned me on to Zencaster, and I really enjoy it. They have a good connection. The sound, it sounds like you're in a professional studio. And the other thing I like about Zencaster is that it gives you video option. And it gives you a video option to record the video, which of course is becoming very popular in the podcasting world, is showcasing your video with your audio. And of course, you can put on platforms like YouTube. But not even that, if you're just doing a regular podcast with just sound, it still shows you the video of the other person, which I really enjoyed. Because when I use Zoom, I would usually turn the video off because, like I said, there were a lot of glitches. So it was better to just turn the videos off and just record the sound, and it just sounded crisper and clear. And that is my experience with that software. Other than that, I still think it's a great software, of course, for doing your Zoom meetings. But for podcasting, you want to make sure you have clear sound. And with Zencaster, even if you don't want to do video, the nice thing is you do get to see your guest in video while you're recording just the audio. So I think it's just a neat platform. A lot of my guests always scare them. I tell them it's only going to be audio, and then they show up in their like sweats because they're working from home, and they're like, are we recording on video? I'm like, no. I'm like, this is just so we can like have good rapport with each other and have a great conversation. I'm like, don't worry, I'm not going to use the video. But if you do want to move your podcast to video level, again, they have a great option for video, and it's all included in their free package. Free is great. That's another reason why I love this platform, is there is a free package. And the nice thing about this free package is it does not run out. It does not limit you on how many times you can record during the month. I just really enjoyed this about the software. And like I said, some platforms do charge you for the video option. This one right now does not. So you can have so much video recording time with this free package. If you are a business and you want to move to more professional level of podcasting and you have more guests and more bells and whistles, of course, they do have a paid package as well. And that is going to run you about $20 USD. The only thing you need to know about Zencaster is the fact that you can't edit on this tool. What you need to do if you want a more polished episode is take these files. And the nice thing is the files are easy to download. They're in WAV format, which is the format that you usually use to put it into your editing software. If I'm losing you, I don't want to go on a huge explanation, but they come into WAV files, and then you're going to take that WAV file and put it into your editing software, which I use, like I've said, I think a few times now, Adobe Audition, and I'm able to take those WAV files, put them in Adobe Audition, and edit up my podcast. And for me, why I like using Zencaster again is just getting that more studio quality sound, and I just use the recording part on Zencaster. The free version suits me well and it gets all my needs done. And that's what I use for my own personal podcast, Coping 19. So now that you know why I enjoy Zencaster and a little bit about it, this is how you start recording on Zencaster. Of course, you open up your account and then you have to start your own new session, title it, and then what you do is you invite your guest. So you invite your guest that is going to be on, or invite your co-host, whoever is going to be part of your podcast. Again, you can go over podcasting formats in my previous video. But for now, all you need to do is figure out who you're going to invite to your podcast. You put in their email address and then you wait for them to come on. What I do like about Zencaster too is they make sure they check the quality of your microphone. They do health screening tests. When you come into the recording version, it takes a few seconds, but it actually makes sure that your microphone is good to go, which is half the battle when recording. And then you'll be able to hear and see the person. And the nice thing I like about Zencaster too is when you are recording, you can see the levels of your guest and you can see and make sure that they are still talking and that it sounds okay. Because you want to make sure that you are recording. You don't want to finish with a guest and then find out that it did not record properly. So those are just the little basics of Zencaster on the free plan. I, again, enjoy using it. I think it is a great platform, especially if you are just starting out podcasting. I always tell people just try it. See if you even like it, because it's something you got to do a lot of to gain a following, and you got to be patient with it. If it's something that you try the first few times and you're like, oh, I just don't enjoy podcasting, you don't want to spend money on it. So Zencaster is a great platform to try it out on. And then if you do build your own business on this, or you're using it for business and you enjoy it, then you can pay for the paid plan. So there you go. That is my review of Zencaster. There are so many other recording platforms. That is the one that I wanted to do first because I have so many people tell me about it. And I've been using it for the last little while on Coping 19 and I'm loving it so far. But that being said, I do want to review other podcasting recording platforms because there are so many out there. And we're going to do that in many more videos to come because I want to keep helping you create the best podcast that you can do. So all you need to do to keep watching these videos is subscribe to the button below, ring the bell for notifications, and that's about it. And we'll see you next time.